Hello and welcome back to my channel, students. So today you're going to learn a lesson named as India through the eyes of a foreigner. Now in this lesson, Mark Tully tells us why he likes India and Indians very much. He gives word pictures of India's natural beauty and the beauty of India's social, religious and cultural activities. There are beautiful descriptions of the ways in which we worship the Almighty. In the end, he says he has been accepted as a part of India. This thought makes him feel good. So let us start with this lesson. I soon realized that it was not going to be difficult to get involved in India. From day one, I was surrounded by friends. The friends my predecessors introduced me to, the staff of All India Radio, the members of the press club, and my new neighbors. Many are still good friends. It's through them that I have become involved in their country. Now, when I am asked why I am staying on, I reply, because of my friends. So here, the writer, that is Mark Tully, he says about his experience. He says that very soon he realized that it is not going to be difficult to get involved in India. It was not difficult for him to live in India, get along with the people, because from the day one, he was surrounded by friends, his predecessors. Now, who are predecessors? A person who held a job or office before the current holder, someone before him. So they had introduced him to some people and they had become his friends. Those friends were none other than the staff of All India Radio, the members of the press club, and his new neighbors. And many are still good friends, they are still in contact. Now, it's because of them that he got involved, closely connected in relationships and activities of others in their country, that is in India. Now, when people ask him why is he still staying here, he replies because of his friends. That, of course, is only part of the truth. I am drawn to India by its beauty, particularly its natural beauty. Recently, I was beside a campfire in the Great Himalayan National Park, watching the snow-covered mountains glitter in the sunset. A week later, I was in Kerala, in the extreme south, sitting in my bathing trunks, looking out over the Arabian Sea as the sun slid like a great red dome below the horizon. There are the smells of India too, which evoke such nostalgia. There is the dry scent of early summer in Delhi as the blue jacarandas, the scarlet gulmohars, and other trees come into flower. The sweet smell of the queen of the night and the freshness of the first of pine trees in the foothills of the Himalayas after a long, hot, and dusty drive across the plains. There are the folk songs and the classical music with ragas that start with such austerity and end in ecstasy. Now, that is true, but only a part of it. The other part, why is he staying in India? Why is he continuing to stay in India? Is that he is drawn towards India's beauty. He is amazed by the beauty of India. Now he speaks of the natural beauty of India. So he says recently he had visited the Great Himalayan National Park and there was a campfire watching the snow-covered mountains which were glittering in the sunset. It was such a wonderful view. And a week later, he was in Kerala. Now, Kerala is in the extreme south. And he was sitting there in his bathing trunks, shorts, looking out over the Arabian Sea as the sun was setting. And the sun looked like a red dome. Then he talks about the smells of India, which evoke such nostalgia. What is nostalgia? Nostalgia means remembrance, something that you won't forget. He says that it was the dry scent of early summer in Delhi as the blue jacarandas. Now, what are jacarandas? It's a tropical tree that has blue trumpet shaped flowers and it has a very good smell. Then he talks about the scarlet gulmohars. That is also a tree. The tree is bold and attractive, so the tree is named as a flamboyant tree. The word flamboyant means bold and showy in behavior, appearance. And then he talks about other trees also, which come into flower in their particular season. Then he talks about the sweet smell of the queen of the night. Queen of the night, it is a flower which is also called as night lotus. And why this queen of night is special? Because it blooms once a year, only overnight. And then he talks about the freshness of the first of pine trees. Pine trees are nothing but an evergreen coniferous tree which has clusters of long needle shaped leaves. And he's talking about those pine trees which are grown in the foothills of the Himalayas. So he speaks of all the different smells, that fragrances that he observed. Then he talks about the folk songs and the classical music with ragas that start with such austerity. What is austerity? Simplicity. And they end in ecstasy, that is a state of a strong feeling of happiness. He speaks about music, which is wonderful and different for every place. There are the great epics and the love poetry. There is the art of the Pradhan tribe in central India, which occupies the whole of one wall of my flat. There is the color of the festivals, the solemn dignity of the courtyards of the great mosques, filled with line after line of worshippers bowing their heads in prayer, and the colorful informality of the pujari performing the evening rites in a Hindu temple. There is the sound of priests singing the six scriptures, carrying across the water of the sacred tank in which the golden temple stands. There are the great monuments of India. I have never known anyone to be disappointed by the Taj Mahal or the forts of Rajasthan. They are the fresh cooked parathas for breakfast in the open air dhabas or restaurants along the Grand Trunk Road, and there's the delicacy of a vegetarian thali or tray in Gujarat. Now he talks about the great epics and the love poetry. He talks about different tribes. He says that in his flat, one wall is covered with entire pictures of or the art of the Pradhan tribe in central India. Then he speaks of the colors of festivals, the different festivals in our country. We know all the festivals. So he speaks about the solemn dignity, that is the very serious respect that you can see in the courtyards of the great mosques, filled with line after line of worshippers who are praying towards their God. And similarly, he says the colorful informality of the pujaris performing the rituals in a Hindu temple. Then he speaks about the Sikh priests, singing their scriptures across the golden temple. He speaks about all these great monuments. And then he says that nobody is disappointed by the beauty of Taj Mahal or the forts of Rajasthan. He doesn't know anyone who has been disappointed by the beauty of it. He speaks of the fresh cooked parathas for breakfast in the open air dhabas or restaurants along the Grand Trunk Road. Now, Grand Trunk Road is one of the Asia's oldest and longest major roads. Then he speaks of the fineness or delicateness of a vegetarian thali that is found in Gujarat. All these kept me in India, but they are not whole. It would need a poet to describe what India means to me, and I am no poet. I can only say that I am not alone among foreigners in believing there is nowhere like India and no people like Indians. I am perhaps more unusual for a foreigner in that I have been accepted as a part of India. Now, in the last para, he says that all these kept me in India. It was not just one reason that he stayed back, but it was the entire reasons. There's so many reasons for staying back in India. It would need a poet to describe what India means to him, but he is not a poet, so he could not describe like a poet, but he is just trying to say that even though he is a foreigner, he says that there is no other place where he would like to be rather than India, and no people like Indians. They're nowhere. He is so happy and satisfied with India as well as Indians. And he says that he's so happy that even though he's a foreigner, it is interesting because he is different from others, but still India has accepted him as a part of it. He is also a part of India even though he is a foreigner. So he is so happy with our country, and we are proud to be a part of this wonderful, beautiful country. I do hope you have understood this lesson. In case you have any doubts, you can comment below. And again, don't forget to subscribe to my channel for more interesting videos. Stay safe. Thank you for watching.